Hello and welcome to Kittick Farms. We are here with another episode of the Oklahoma series. This is a 4X map by DJ Modding. Today, to get started with, we're going to be busting out a little bit of tillage here. We've got to knock all these cotton stalks down. I had hoped to mow them. I thought I had a mod that was going to let me mow these cotton stalks down, but it didn't end up working out for me very well. And normally, there's some fairly specialized equipment that you would use to kind of chop up the cotton residue here and till it under just a little bit. I did watch a few videos, but I couldn't find any mods quite like that. So we're just going to go ahead and use our disc here. I think this is going to accomplish what we're looking to do and get everything set up so that we can get our winter wheat planted in here. I want to get all the winter wheat planted today just to make sure that we have enough time for that to get itself established here before we get into the end of the year. I don't expect that we're going to get much below freezing weather here in Oklahoma. I'm kind of curious what the temperature scale is going to be as we go through our first year of seasons here. But I think either way, we'll get all that winter wheat in today. We've still got a good half of the day left to get that done. We've still got to find a seeder that we're going to use for this. I've not looked around too much. We're going to have to head up to the dealer and see what we can get on a lease type plan here. We don't have a lot of money. In fact, we're at negative $16,000 right now in the bank, so we are going to have to probably take out a little bit more of a loan to have enough money around to do a lease. If we take a quick look at our financial situation, we're in a pretty fair amount of debt right now, so I don't want to buy anything. I think that we can't really afford to take on any more debt. We're already paying so much interest that we're in danger of never making it back out of our loans. We're going to take this up and do the other headland pass here, and then we'll get a hired worker to tackle this field for us while we jump over and do a little bit of other cleanup. One of the things that I have done is made some edits to the cotton pack here. Hopefully we're going to be able to unload our partial bale now, which would be really handy. And so I definitely want to try that out here in the next few minutes to make sure that that's going to be working out for us as well. It's going to take a little bit to do all the tillage on this field, and so we'll probably be able to grab the 4240 and run into town and pick up whatever seeder it is that we kind of decide on using here. We've got a fair amount of grass on the headland up here, so we probably didn't really need to take these headland passes off, but you never know with the way that workers in Farm Sim work. Now, I do like that these 36-inch row space tires seem to be fitting in the cotton rows here pretty good. At least that's one aspect of the cotton textures that seem to be fairly well done. Alright, so we'll just get this guy going on the straight rows like so. We're going to fire off our worker and let them go to town here, and let's run over and check out this cotton baler. So since last time, we've made a small change to the XML for this baler. It's the module packer in Farm Sim. It's leveraging the bale mechanics, and inside of the way a baler's set up, there's a line of XML code that allows you to unload a partial bale. And so we've flipped that line on, and here hopefully I see the option Y to unload unfinished bale. We're going to go ahead and tap that and see that it is going to let us unload this bale, which is awesome. So that is a much welcomed fix to our problem. It does unfortunately make it look like a full-size bale, but you can see here as I step up to it, it's only 26,000 liters of cotton, as opposed to these are 32,000 liters of cotton. So we didn't gain any extra material. It's just the graphical representation of that bale in full size. So that's okay with me, actually. I really appreciate the help in the comments of my last video, sorting that out. So we're gonna go ahead and fold this thing up, and I think run it up here and store it somewhere. We've got a lot of decorative items here on the farm. I'm thinking we're gonna store it right here though. We'll get everything disconnected here and leave that right there. And I think what we're gonna do is park this guy right over here out of the way for a moment and head on into town and see what we can do to acquire some kind of a seeder to let us put some winter wheat in to our field here. All right, so we did some calling around, and it turns out we've got a Bourgault dealer less than an hour away from us over in Cordell, Oklahoma here, and they were more than happy to send out this demo unit, and so we're going to give this a try. Now, this is from the Bourgault DLC. I've never actually had a reason to use this smaller seeder in a Let's Play before, so this felt like the perfect opportunity to bust this out and give it a shot. It does require a little bit more horsepower than our 4240 is going to have to pull it, so we will need to put our bigger tractor on it. But I think we can probably grab the 4240 here and use it just to move it around the yard a little bit, get the seed filled up here, and maybe even run it up to the co-op and get the fertilizer topped off on it. So let's see if we can get this hooked up and all set up here so we can get started on our seeding here in just a few once our worker's done with the tillage that we're running over there in the cotton field. Now this looks like it's going to be a great little seeder, and we've got some seed right here in the back of the shed here that was left over. Oh, I'm sorry, this is actually the fertilizer, which is convenient. So we've got some fertilizer right here in the back of our shed left over from when we were planting previously with the other setup. And so we're going to go ahead and just fill the fertilizer up on this winter wheat. I think we are going to use the precision farming method here to apply the appropriate levels of nitrogen for our wheat as we put it in here, since we don't have a lot of time before winter's going to be upon us here, since we're already into autumn. And we just need some seed in this thing. So I think before I head up there, I'm just going to double check, make sure we didn't have any seed left anywhere in the shed. It doesn't look like it. I could probably run up there with the truck, but honestly, I don't know how much this seeder's gonna hold, so it'll be easier for us to just run up there right now and top it off at the co-op, I think. All right, so we're up here at the local co-op, and I'm trying to remember where we're gonna get the seed. Looks like if we pull right up under this auger and open our covers, we can load up our seed here. We're gonna pull forward just a bit so it's actually going into the seeder. Now, we are short on money, and as I fill this, I'm kind of thinking we're not covering that many acres, and I don't need that much seed left over for storing later, so we're gonna only put about a half ton of seed in here. I definitely don't want to be investing in seed for years to come here at this stage. We should have more than enough to tackle the fields that we've got. And if for some reason I've underestimated, at least the co-op is nice and close to our farm. All right, so we're back up at the farm here. I'm actually kind of curious how well this 4240 would work on that disc. So I think what we're gonna do is disconnect this seeder here, leave it all set up. We're gonna run out here and see if we can intercept the larger tractor here on his way back down. And we're gonna see how well this 4240 will pull that disc. I think it's probably a little light on the horsepower, but honestly, we're not trying to do much. We're just trying to break up this residue a little bit. And so if we can do that with the smaller tractor and get this guy going on our seeding behind us, I think that's going to be the most efficient use of our time here. So we're just going to drop that right there. And let's see how this works. Alright, well, it looks like we're going. We're not quite going as fast as we could with the larger tractor, but it's holding its own here, so I think we're gonna let this go. It'll be a little bit less efficient here. Probably burn a bit more fuel, but that's okay. I really want to get this seeding started here behind us. We've got a fair amount of work to get done today. And honestly, I'm just really impatient to kind of get over here and try this thing out. It looks really cool. And I believe this is also the seeder that just got added to FS20, the mobile game version. Giants keeps adding additional free equipment or free download DLC stuff to the mobile version of the game. And I think I saw that this was one of the pieces of equipment that just got added on that platform as well. So it looks like outside of starting off here in the corner, there's not too many things that are going to block from a headland perspective on this end of the field. So I'm going to go ahead and just start here and assume that we've got enough grass to let us through. We are on automatic application rate. And so you can see here, wheat requires some of the highest nitrogen values of any crop that I've planted. So we are going to be putting down a fair amount of fertilizer as we go through this, which is a-okay. And we're going to go ahead and get a GPS line set up here on this guy as well to make our lives just a little bit easier. And taking a look here, this seeder looks great. This is a perfect sized seeder for our fields here. It's a little bit more modern than the rest of our equipment, but pairs up nicely with this particular tractor. And I was pleasantly surprised when I got online and took a look at the Bourgault website and saw that they actually have a certified dealer in Oklahoma, and it was less than an hour away from where our farm is supposedly located. So this is very much a convenient happenstance, since I've been wanting to try out this little Bourgault seeder for a long time now. So with that, let's get seeding and see how much ground we can cover today. looks like our 4240 has really champed it out on this field and is coming up here on its final pass. Let's see if we can hop up here. It looks like we've got just a single row here on the outside that we've missed. So we'll go ahead and grab that on the way back here. Realistically, this tractor is quite a bit undersized, I think, to be pulling this wide or this heavy of an implement. So I don't think we're gonna continue to use this on the other field. I think we're just gonna have to switch the tractor back and forth here between the tillage and the seeder in order to get our next field done. But we should be able to just wrap up this single pass here real quick and get this thing back up into the yard. It looks like we're making some pretty good progress here on seeding our wheat. And so I'm feeling good about our seeder purchase. I just wish that we had a few more horsepower on this secondary tractor that we've got on the farm here. I feel like there's not enough jobs that we can really realistically do with this. It's at this point mostly just a PTO tractor for the baler. I mean, I guess we could also use it to run around with the buggy here as well, but we needed something to put on the PTO of the baler. So yeah, it's kind of a utility tractor that doesn't have a lot of uses at this point, which is unfortunate. We could really use one more working tractor on the farm to allow us to do jobs at the same time. So that's, I think, at this point, one of the pieces of equipment that I'm really leaning towards purchasing at some point. I mean, we've got a lot of missing pieces of equipment on our farm here, and we're hard pressed for cash at the moment. So we'll have to continue to think about that as the farm continues to grow here. However, I think for today, we're going to let the hired helper here continue to plant the rest of this wheat in this field. That's all for today. Kedrick out. Oh, we bumped it. Where are we going? We're gonna have to do some wide swings to make these turns.